Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Tom, it's a pretty common thing to look in the life of a hospital and see what actually goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It can be pretty daunting, pretty scary at times, reports from nurses, things like that. But we're talking about things getting stuffed in the nose. And it comes off one of our mates. His kid has come back from childcare and has had the old Lego up the nose. First time as a parent witnessing it, and he's like, what the hell? I guess, there has to be at least one time, right?
It's a classic.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
I got Lego in my nose.
How did you get a Lego in your nose?
I don't know.
Is that a Lego person head?
Yeah.
That's audio from the internet. That's not our mate.
No,
Just some
no.
American mate of ours, that's sent in a recording of his kid petrified.
But it is a classic, isn't it? Like, Lego is the number one thing that kids are always shoving up their nose. Who knows why as well?
I don't get it because
I don't know why. I don't think I ever really put things up my nose, except for a finger maybe here and there.
So that's what I was thinking as well. It's such a weirdly common thing that kids get things stuck up their nose all the time. They have to go to the ER, stuff like that. I don't think I ever did it. And we heard another story from our content director. Her sister would shove peas up her nose just relentlessly, and the grandma would have to snatch her hands away.
Apparently, they'd have to get her to block a nostril and blow. It would just like all these peas, which I don't know. Maybe didn't like the taste of peas. Maybe not hiding them. Maybe saving them for later. A little snack.
Just ingest them differently if you don't like the taste. But Tom, I do actually have a list here. A survey came out in Australia to say what the most popular things were that got stuck up kids' noses. Obviously, Lego is the big hitter.
Yeah.
But what would you say is after that the next most popular thing?
And the second most popular thing for kids to put up their nose, I would have to say it'd be something along the lines of like a pencil or marker or something, right?
Do you reckon? Pencil is on here. It's on the list, but coins is the next most popular one.
God.
And up there as well, sultanas.
Hang on a minute. Coins are pretty big, and kids famously have small noses most of the time.
But this is the thing. I don't know how it works. Kids just manage to find a way to shove anything up their nose, right? They hold
pretty malleable.
They hold no boundaries, do they? On the list as well, like I said, sultanas, Play-Doh, magnets, popcorn kernels.
Play-Doh. Imagine being like all blocked up because of Play-Doh.
Yeah, and how's this one? Marbles.
Marbles.
Yeah.
What got stuck up the nose, Adelaide? Maybe it was something you put up there yourself. Maybe it was your kid that got something shoved up there, got it stuck. We want to know what got stuck up the nose.
Tom, we do want to go on the text line here from the Fresh fam. Someone said, my son had put an apple peel, a rock up his nose. We had to turn his car seat around so he could watch the little bugger.
Jeez.
Hey, he's on high security. Make sure he doesn't shove anything else up.
Got another text come through here. When I was 4 years old, I rammed 14 gum nuts up my nose and had to go to the doctor to have them removed with super long tweezers. 14 is a fair effort.
14's too old to be, experimenting with putting things in your nose, right?
No. He's rammed 14
gum
nuts.
nuts. Sorry, yeah, that's huge. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Hey, let's head over to Clemzig. We've got Trish on the line. Trish, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Now, Trish, what got stuck up the kid's nose?
Yes, it was my daughter. She was about 3.5 and she stuck a Tic Tac up her nose.
Wow.
Oh, classic one. Yeah, Tic Tacs. Did she have a minty, fresh nostril? Yeah, did it clear it up?
Oh, look, we were in ED for I reckon it was about 6 hours, so it was a pretty long haul.
Jeez.
They managed to obviously retrieve it, but yeah, she hasn't done anything like that since, so yeah.
Yeah, wow. It's funny, Trish, because on the survey thing I was looking at, Tic Tacs were one of the more popular ones to actually get stuck up a kid's nose.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Trish, it was just the one Tic Tac, was it?
Just the one Tic Tac, yeah.
Oh, at least she didn't go for doubles.
Yeah. Whole packet. What flavour? Mint or was it one of the orange ones?
Tutti frutti.
No, that was the orange one.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go. All right.
Hey, thanks for getting involved, Trish. We appreciate it. Let's head over to Flagstaff Hill with Sarah. Sarah, what got stuck up the nose?
Okay, so it was my friend's kid. My son was having a birthday party, and the parents, we were sitting around having some hot chips, and my friend's child was about 3 years old, and she stuck a hot chips so far up her nose
Oh, God.
that it was burning, and she was crying. She couldn't breathe. And they were trying to put pepper up the other nostril, trying to get
my
it
God.
to,
Oh, to just
they
sneeze it
said
out.
she does it. Yeah, well, they said she does it quite often.
Right, Sarah.
So they're used to it.
Did the
But it didn't actually come out, so...
Yeah, I was going to ask, was the pepper, did it work at all? Did it get any sneezing going? Because we've tried it, me and Tom in the studio here, and it almost seems like a myth, the pepper sneezing thing.
Yeah, well, I think it had worked before for them, but not with this chip, because she had it so far up, and she was, in pain because it was really hot.
Yeah, okay,
And-
so at no point did she
This is
decide to stop putting it up her nose even when it was hot.
No, she was pretty little. Poor girl's about 16 now. She'd be horrified if I was telling you this.
Telling the story on
Another
live
thing-
radio.
Yeah, and another thing was my ex-husband, his brother, they thought he was deaf and having all these learning problems for a while, and it wasn't until after a lot of investigation they found those polystyrene balls from bean bags right down his ear hole.
Really?
Oh, my God.
And it's just been there for years, or?
Yeah, just been there, and they thought this kid was a little bit not so bright, but it turned out that he'd shoved these lots of them, polystyrene balls.
Never heard that before.
Human beanbag. Hey, Sarah, we've got a $50 voucher down to Big Shots Cafe Brighton coming your way. Thanks for getting involved.
Woo! Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. Have a great day. Cash is king,
yeah.
or so they say. I prefer to deal with cash, right? Because I feel like I'm a bit less flippant when I have cash. It's all right there in front of me. When it's gone, so am I.
Yeah.
That's my motto.
It's a weird one though, cash, isn't it? Because I feel like it's getting rarer and rarer to carry around cash, to the point that if I do carry around cash, people think it's dodgy. And they're just like, "What?" Oh, people have questions. Oh, how did you get that cash? Why do you have so much cash? And it's like, it's I don't know. Birthday and Christmas.
Jeez,
I'm
it
not
sounds
a
like
criminal.
you're...
It's from my grandma, if anything, around Christmas time.
But I've had a big problem with cash over the weekend, and I didn't want to do this, but it's on my mind. I feel like it has to be addressed. I'm bloody ticked off.
Lyman Mongrel.
Oh, jeez, it's ticked off, Tom.
Wow.
Callum, I've got an issue with you, mate.
Wow, you're bringing TikTok Tom to a personal level, taking it in the studio. Usually this is a social kind of worldly outrage you have.
Nah, I'm coming at you with the horns.
For the first time. Okay.
Yeah, the gloves are off.
All right, let's hear it.
And you know what? Everyone listening, I'd love for them to get involved on the text line 0428 927 927. Get involved in this conversation. You tell me whether I'm overreacting or not, because I don't think I am, Callum. We're in the Fringe time, right?
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
out and about, and fresh. We're just off Rundle Street here, so it's almost impossible not to get amongst the Fringe.
Definitely.
And over the weekend, we left and we were like, let's get a beer together.
Yeah.
Right? Then we'll go our separate ways, never see each other again till Monday morning. And we go get the beer. It's your round to go buy one. And you are sifting through your wallet, right?
Yeah.
You pull out a $5 note. You pull out a $10 note. You have no more notes. So then
Correct.
you head into your coin purse.
Yeah, it was an attachment on my wallet. It's not a separate coin purse. Don't listen to him, French fam.
And you start sifting through your coins and you chuck them all in. End of the day, you were 30 cents short.
Yeah, what a bummer it was as well. I mean, 30 cents short for a jug of beer. Terrifying scenario.
Now, any normal person would have been like, well, bugger, that's annoying. I guess I'll just have to get the card out for this one. No, not you. The bartender looks at me, takes my $20 note, and sticks me with all your shrapnel.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm not talking about a couple $2 coins. I had 8 separate silver coins, 50 cents, 20 cents, the works.
It was quite funny though, because the bartender did it voluntarily as well. It wasn't even a discussion. She literally just looked at what was on the table, saw your 20s, saw my coins, and she's like, guys, it's this easy, and just swapped them around, and you're like, what the hell?
Yes, so, and my wallet, I don't have a big wallet. It's more like a card holder, if anything. There's not really any space for coins, just notes, and barely that. So now I'm lugging around all these 50-cent pieces not knowing what to do with them, and knowing that also you owe me 30 cents.
You've almost got your own personal jingle now. Every time you walk around the pub, there was a little bit of clattering of coins.
No more sneaking up on people for me.
The coin man is in town. Tom, pet sitting is a major duty, and the stress level's already high. With your own pet, but as soon as the pet of somebody else's is in your hands, it's even dicier, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, it is like a bit stressful. You have to look after them, whether, the people are going on a holiday, stuff like that.
Being in charge of anyone's anything is always a stressful time, whether you're house sitting, pet sitting, babysitting, all the kinds of sittings are stressful.
Yeah, and it's not usually a relaxing thing, like you said, but heard a very, very funny story about pet sitting, and it comes from our content director, Sophie. Her parents recently were pet sitting a friend's dog, and it went a little bit haywire. They did something that they thought would be acceptable, but it turned out to only make it a bit more stressful, the situation.
We've got Sophie on the mic here. Sophie, good morning. Hi. First things first, you're on the wrong microphone.
Hello. I'm here.
Second thing, what happened? What happened with the pet sitting?
Yeah, so my parents were pet sitting my grandma's dog, and they've had dogs before, and they're adults and have brains.
Yeah.
And they had Indian for dinner, and for some reason they gave the dog Indian. And so for the next 2 days, the dog was very sick and was really upset and wouldn't come near them, was like, what have you done to me? I can't trust you. And Mum has no idea why they did that.
Now, there's so many things that you have to be careful of dogs eating. Chocolate, avocado, and I don't hear onion, garlic. I don't hear many cuisines that you should avoid, but I feel like curry is probably one of the big ones that you shouldn't give a dog. Do we know what kind of curry it was?
So I think it was pretty spicy. It started with an M. I'm not a big curry, massaman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
And I don't know why they've
Known
done
for
this.
being one of the spicier curries.
The dog's just like, did you not look at how many chili pictures there were on the menu next to that one?
3.5 is too many.
Too many for a dog. Look at the equivalent.
Yeah.
So
wow.
the dog's okay.
The dog is fine. Everything's fine. But I don't understand. We've had dogs in the past. I don't know why Mum and Dad just didn't think.
It sounds like, giving curry to a dog, it wouldn't be lethal. Like your parents, obviously didn't mean to cause any disturbance, but it's just spicy things with the dog's stomach. It's just not going to go down well.
I maybe took it a step too far once with my dog, giving him a little bit of my zinger burger. But that's nowhere near the same spice as a curry, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Did they at least give the dog some damn Raita? Cool it down a little bit.
If somebody's texted in, a dog that we dog sat was an ex-AFP labby dog. She was so smart, she trained the posties to feed her every time they delivered.
Right. Bit of a hustler on the streets.
Yeah, that is smart.
Someone texted in, chicken kebab, only problem was the stick was still in the dog. $2,000 later and the dog was fixed. That is huge.
Yeah.
Vet bills are always pricey, aren't they?
Oh, 100%. Another text come through here. My grandma's dog, I was pet sitting, ate a rubber in the bin. Oh, God.
Right.
We had to go to the vet, get it removed. Once it had passed through the dog, cost so much money, never been more embarrassed. And the vet gave us a big chat about being more responsible.
Jeez, sex ed class from the vet. You wouldn't expect it on the day. This one here was pet sitting a bunny. Had some friends around for a barbie and some drinks. Someone brought a disposable camera and we took a photo with the bunny, and the flash on the camera shocked the bunny. We thought we killed it, so the next day went and got a replacement one, took the old one out of its cage and started digging a small grave, but then it woke up and then it ran away. We didn't see it again and never told the family.
Gee.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
I mean, there's so many points in that where I just think, is this a true text? Is somebody pulling a quick one by us, taking the mickey out of us, or is that actually happened?
Right, that can't be a thing, can it? Rabbits back from the dead, zombie rabbit just getting up and running off.
Also, who's going out replacing the bunny? Just tell him.
Be honest. Tom, when you go to a Fringe show, you're there to see one of the acts, not to be one of the acts. You don't want the attention to be on you.
Absolutely not. There's nothing worse than the attention being put on you as you're in a Fringe show. It happens a lot with comedy, obviously.
Big time.
People in front rows get singled out. If you try and get up and get a drink or leave halfway through, you will get heckled by the comedian.
That is the fear of going to a comedy show, isn't it? That if you need to go to the toilet, someone will, heckle you and, it'll be a whole thing.
There's a good chance you'll get embarrassed by the comedian, so you've just got to sit through it.
And, something kind of similar, I guess, happened the other night. We were going out on Thursday for a Fringe show with a bunch of the Fresh crew. Yeah. And we went and saw Matador, which is a big dancing spectacle, great music, a bit cabaret-ish. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a lot of fun. Something different as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't really go to the dancing ones too often, but this one blew the expectations out of the water. But we went in there and already, big mistake, haven't gone to the bathroom. I'm like, didn't check how long the show would go for. It wasn't anything crazy. It's about an hour or so.
I think it was about an hour.
Which is actually quite modest.
Yeah,
it's not
pretty average timing for most Fringe shows.
But it's getting to the last, I reckon, 10 minutes. And I'm starting to do the knee slap, trying to buy the time and distract yourself, you're
hunched
fidgeting.
Over.
You're hunched over, you release,
you're at a point where you're not focusing on the show anymore because you've got one thing on your mind, and that is to stay completely dry for the rest of the 10 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. And thank God it wasn't a comedy show because, like I said, the tensions would have been a bit higher with being pointed out. I don't expect anyone in Matador to turn around from their burlesque dancing and point me out, cut the music, but still, nonetheless, a little bit embarrassing because I really had to go, and it got to the point where I thought, stuff it.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to get up.
Not waiting any longer.
I definitely did it probably in one of the more obnoxious ways where I just it was the spring of the moment. I just leaped out of the chair.
It was a full leap too.
So you were behind me, you saw it, right?
Yeah, I was like just behind and to the left of you. And you went from like sitting there, sort of rocking back and forth, like looking kind of ill. And there were a few conversations being had just behind in our row about what you were looking like. And then out of nowhere, you spring up. It was almost like you cleared a foot off the ground as well when you got up.
Yeah.
And then just started running past these people.
Yeah, I believe it was Taylor for Workday. She was sitting next to me. It was her prompt of saying, "Are you okay?" And then I turned around and said, "Screw this," pretty vocally. And then jumped out of the seat. And what's crazy is because they try and cram so many people in these Fringe shows. I had to. It was like a maze. As soon as I got out of the barrier of the first three people tripping over their legs, knocking a bit of food around, I'm like in a standstill. Then where I see I'm in this labyrinth of chairs where I'm like, how the hell do I get out of this? You just go for the leap. Just jumped over one, knocked one over.
Jesus, I didn't know that.
Got to the end bit where the girl was there and she's like, "Oh, do you want to leave?" And I'm like, "Great show. I just really need to go to the bathroom." She looked at me like, "I don't care. Like, you can leave. It's okay.
You're an adult, mate." Everyone likes to fantasize about where they might retire. Fantasize about retiring in a beautiful place. Maybe in a different country, maybe a different state. Have you ever put much thought into it?
Yeah, Gold Coast.
Goldie.
Goldie. Yeah. I love it.
I reckon that's a bad idea.
It's like at the end of your working lifespan where you go to relax, you just go to the most hectic spot in Australia. Well, that'd be right.
After a considerable amount of research, I think I've finally figured out where I would like to pack it in and retire. And it's none other than Germany.
Yeah, Germany's an interesting one. Cool place.
Yeah, well, I mean, not only is there things like, Oktoberfest, Lederhose, beers, plenty more to like about Germany recently because I've just learned they've got vending machines that, get this, stock all different kinds of sausages from bratwurst to bockwurst to barbecue meats. They've got absolutely everything. Some of these vending machines even have things like potato salad in them next to go with the sausages.
I don't know about the potato salad. I think because there's something about vending machines though where it's like, I don't know, the food can be a bit hit and miss. I don't know if it's refrigerated properly.
That's because you're used to our vending machines, mate. These are German engineered. Germans are known for their engineering. Mercedes-Benz, think about that. They are known throughout history as being some of the best engineers. Their vending machines are top notch.
Jeez, imagine looking back on history now and thinking, wow, I can't believe the Germans invented the sausage vending machine and that all other countries jumped on that time. It's an exciting time to live, isn't it?
I mean, they've also got other vending machines that stock kitchen essentials, so they're available to you at any time, like, eggs, milk, butter, fruit and veggies as well. But the sausage ones are the ones that are really catching my attention at the moment. There's apparently over 570,000 different vending machines in Germany, and they're always around, these sort of shops.
Yeah.
And it's not to replace them. It's actually to try and complement the shops. So you go to the shop, you get one thing, you walk past a vending machine, you be like, geez, the bockwurst would go great with this.
Right, yeah.
Pop in a few coins.
I don't mind this at all, really. I guess, there is the hesitation that it could taste a bit weird, but I don't know. It's going to a dinner
I don't
party.
think so.
Imagine just stocking up on a cheap vending machine snack for a dinner party. People would be none the wiser. I don't think you could tell, right?
Yeah, well, looking at these vending machines too, right? You think of the vending machines that we're all used to. You think of Kale's 415 vending machine, for example. We're used to that style of vending machine. These ones over in Germany, they've got a real industrial sort of look about them. Like, it looks like a big kitchen fridge that has the vending machine parts on the side, so you can get all your favourite sausages at any time at convenience.
Well, the age we live in, maybe we should prototype it and stuff a sausage in Kale's 415 vending machine. See how he likes it.
Bringing a bit of Germany back to Australia.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.